This section focuses on the influence of agile work environments in a digital world, using literature to inform decisions in both an organisational and educational setting. Agile, in the marketing context, pertains to using data and analytics to continuously source promising opportunities or solutions to problems in real time, deploying tests quickly and evaluating said results. In many companies, segments that use agile techniques have grown revenue by as much as a factor of 4. Even the most digitally savvy marketing organisations, where one typically sees limited room for improvement, have experienced revenue uplift of 20 to 40%. Agile working methodologies also increase speed. Marketing organisations that formerly took months to get a good idea, translated into an offer fielded to customers, found that they can do it in less than 2 weeks. According to the third annual State of Agile Marketing report, as of January 2020, 42% of marketers already had an agile transformation in place. A further benefit of agile practices is that it allows marketers to break the barriers of their functional silos and diversify into multiple functions. This is especially beneficial in higher education, which highlights not only the use across modules, but also the applicability further into employment. This enriches skills early, creating a more diverse and versatile workforce. The new digital marketing world embraces customer-centric approaches now more than ever. Companies that adopt this method set themselves up for recovery and success in the future post-COVID. COVID-19 has challenged marketing departments to transform during the pandemic. In some cases, marketing has had to make the hard decision whether to cut spend or to transform and innovate. How marketing responds to marketers' safety concerns, embraces remote working, aids the community, and adjusts tactics to reflect both empathy and understanding of how the market is changing dictates long-term success. Within education, this has meant remote working in a virtual learning environment. This is a prime opportunity to inspire an agile mindset whilst regular processes are irregular. The power of an agile mindset doesn't come from proximity, it comes from a shared commitment to reach goals. Globally, 37% of consumers reported that they've already started using a new brand that showed innovation and compassion in response to the pandemic. 71% of global consumers right now say that a company would lose their trust forever if they perceive it as putting profits before people during the crisis. At the same time, 1 in 3 people said they've already ditched a brand because they felt they weren't behaving appropriately. This suggests the need for a customer-centric approach, thus alluding to agile methodologies and practices. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, indicated COVID-19 was a catalyst for change, stating we've seen 2 years' worth of digital transformation in 2 months. Consequently, highlighting how unprecedented times call for unprecedented practices, to which Microsoft appears to be at the forefront of in terms of customer needs and profitability. According to a NewsCred study, one of the impacts of the pandemic is that marketers are playing catch-up to shifting priorities, plans, and budgets as a result of the coronavirus, with 56% indicating shifting priorities and strategies as their top challenge. The unpredictable nature of the current climate permits leaders and managers to be more open to new ideas that potentially would have been ignored due to complacency and an if-it-ain't-broke mentality. Within education, this may not exactly be the case due to the need for continual evolution. Research-informed recommendations could include 1. To adopt greater decentralised but more coordinated marketing groups, like that in education systems, that would allow students, past and present, along with faculty, to embed itself within the university and its values. Subsequently, creating a more cohesive community, agile in adaptation to environmental shifts. Positive trends, such as the increase to 51% decentralisation in 2022 from 20% in 2020, would certainly provide evidence for this. 2. Marketers must begin to plan with maximum ignorance. Traditional teams allow elaborate schedules and project plans only to be dismissed at the first hurdle. An agile approach would suggest you must plan lightly and embrace ignorance. An agile practice provides the base of the ultimate direction of the organisation, and sprint plans can be used to inform both the larger strategic goals and the previous and future sprint plans. This could also be done within higher education. In that way, we stay aligned to organisational objectives whilst evolving the plan when there's little information about what the future would hold. 3. 2 principles should be used to aid in the transition from traditional perspectives into agile working practices. These are transparency and focus. Transparency forces us to get all the work we could be doing out in the open so we can make fully informed decisions about how to handle them. To ease the transparency transition, timelines should be based on sprint plans. Once the scope of the work is visible, informed decisions can be made, aiding the focus. This creates an agile backlog, which will serve as the engine for all the efforts going forward into the future. Higher education should utilise the same principles for peace of mind of both the student and the faculty.
Being a current master's student, alongside being the course representative for MSc Management, I will share this student perspective of key elements that should be taught specifically targeted towards marketing modules. This will draw upon elements of the module International Marketing Planning, which we studied last semester. A key area that students need to understand is how to effectively use different tools and software to create content. This is both useful for academic purposes, such as creating engaging presentations for assignments, and for future job roles, especially because we are living in a digital age. One of the first tasks set for the International Marketing Planning module was to create a poster using Canva to express our expectations for the module. To the right, we can see two students' creations. This was not a tool that I was familiar with previously. However, I now use it to create content not just for my degree, but for my current job roles as well. Overall, I would suggest that workshops are run and listed as timetabled sessions to teach students how to use certain tools, specifically Microsoft PowerPoint and Panopto for presentation type assessments. As the course representative, I have found that many students struggle to use these and are put at a disadvantage. Therefore, through offering guidance of the basics at the start will help to bridge the knowledge gap and enable higher quality content to be created. With living in Industry 4.0, digital marketing is at the forefront, especially the use of social media. Therefore, it is essential that students understand how social media is used for marketing purposes, alongside an insight into content creation and what makes a good post. Furthermore, the use of influencers is increasing in popularity as they play a vital role at the moment. If the promotional content shared is strategic, then it could encourage increased brand awareness and convert followers into potential customers. Likewise, hedonic engaging content can be created by brands, making the page more dynamic and enabling the brand to be experienced by the customer, this bringing the brand to life, which is not possible in classic media channels. When creating a marketing plan, it is important to stay ahead of competitors. This means that we must pay attention to future trends and utilize environmental scanning techniques, which are both internal and external. A new concept which we used was horizon scanning, which encompasses this very well. Horizon scanning is a continuous process whereby it does not predict the future. Instead, it identifies current trends alongside challenging past assumptions in order to provide a holistic view of the potential future trends that could impact the organisation. Whilst it is not typically used for marketing purposes, it is very interesting to be able to tackle an assignment which had this out-of-the-box thinking. I believe that through incorporating new theories into modules, it enables students to stay more engaged. Typically, marketing teaches very repetitive content, such as SWOT and PESTLE analyses and the 4Ps marketing mix. Whilst these are still relevant and needed, bringing in new aspects and a heavy focus on digital marketing, such as through using P.R. Smith's SOSTAC model to create a marketing plan, this will make the content much more relevant for current and future students and allows the potential future marketeer knowledge to expand.
One of the digital marketing activities that we have within our businesses is Facebook marketing. So specifically within the lettings business, we're looking at trying to onboard new landlords and bring new landlords into our ecosystem. The way we try and do that is specifically looking at the actual landlord avatar. So, and that's one thing that, as a staff member, you need to try and understand who is your avatar and who is our target audience. And that's really an evolution. So that's changing. So from time to time, a lot of our type of target avatar is changing. So before, our landlords, typical landlords would be the older generation. Now what we're starting to see is the target landlords start to become some of the younger generation as well. So there's a lot more younger millennials becoming landlords as well. So we're starting to try and target and have a specific avatar that we can target. So first thing we need to do is understand our avatar in order to be able to target them for digital advertising accordingly. One of the benefits that we had during COVID with regards to digital marketing is the level of engagement that we've had from people. A lot of people at the minute are currently at home, they're glued to their screens, so whether it's their digital devices such as their mobile phones, maybe their screen of the laptop, or even their TV, but regardless of that all, they are all spending more time on their digital devices, and that's why now is probably one of the best times to be running digital marketing campaigns and ads as opposed to physical, because you have their attention, and when you have their attention, obviously anything you start to put in front of them they're going to be quite curious about. So we're starting to see a lot of numbers in terms of the conversions and also the amount of leads that we're getting through digital marketing, much more engaged at the minute compared to what we were seeing prior to COVID. So the major digital marketing challenges that we face in our business is understanding where the money that we are spending is going. So a lot of the time in our business, we're looking at what we call return on investment as well. So if we're spending £1 in marketing, how many pounds are we getting on the back end from a point of view of turnover, but also from a point of view of net profit? So those are really, really important factors for us. So one thing we do within our business is Google Ads as an example. So within specifically one of the businesses that I run, it's called Property Buyers Today, we're running Google Ads in order to try and bring leads in, and then we need to try and convert those leads into deals. So we're understanding where the money is being spent on the front end, all the way through to how is it filtering down into actually converting into deals, and then what does that mean on our bottom line. So hopefully that's just told you a bit about the challenges that we're having within our business in terms of digital marketing. One of the biggest value adds from an employee's perspective is being able to bring new creative ideas to the table. So obviously I try and understand marketing and understand the strategy behind it, but at the same time what I'm looking for in someone is to be able to go out and research and understand and learn and develop themselves in order to be able to bring a new idea to the table and suggest it. And I want someone that's not afraid to suggest it, not afraid to challenge the status quo as well, and sort of come up with new ideas and basically say, well, why don't we try this? And almost try and, I guess, in a way, bring something new to the table that's going to allow us to test it out and actually understand if what we're doing is not actually working anymore, or if there's a better way of doing it. So for us, it's really, really important that we try and find someone that has that capability to bring something new to the table, has the mind capacity to be able to go out, understand it, learn about it, and bring it back into the business. That's one of the key attributes we look into when we're looking for an employee. So if you're looking to enhance your employability skills with local SME employers, the first thing I look at doing is trying to see if you can add value. So that's the first thing we look for in an employee. The second thing we look for is teamwork. So if you can get on with the rest of the team and work together in collaboration to try and deliver an end result and an end goal. And the third thing we're looking for in an employee is instinctive thinking and also intuitive thinking as well. We don't really like spoon feeding, we don't really like micromanaging as well. So as long as you can hit those three things, that's obviously what an employer is looking for in an employee.